Well, payments is the single biggest, most important product for financial institutions by revenue. So if you think about revenue, there is no business, single line of business that generates more revenue than payments. What's fascinating is payments touches all aspects of our lives as consumers and businesses. And these days, I think the biggest change is around two areas. One is technology, and really how technology is shifting the landscape of how we pay. And the second thing is competition. So we're now having to live in a world where competitors in payments aren't your traditional competitors that you've been competing with for 20, 30 years. It's more the new companies that are coming on the scene, some more traditional names like Apple and Facebook and Google and so on, but some that are starting up. You know, there were more than 200 startups last year. We're in such a constantly changing environment. Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of the UK, was speaking at GAC this year, and during his remarks, he talked about how different life is today, you know, than when he was growing up, and how pervasive change is. I think credit unions, particularly at the board and the strategic planning levels, have to try to decide what does the future look like. Let's make a guess, an educated guess on what our future might look like, and how do we remain relevant in that future. So for example, we already know that consumers will want to serve themselves more in the future than go to a branch. It doesn't mean to say that branches are going to close down, although there's some evidence that that might be happening. But the number of times people go to a branch today versus 15 years ago is very different. So I think one of the most important things is how to remain relevant, you know, make that call. Decide what investments are going to have the biggest payback. Because one of the things that credit unions clearly, you know, do not have in abundance is capital. If we had unlimited capital, we could do anything we wanted. But because we don't, we have to prioritize around those things that are most important. And I think the role of the board and the leadership team is to say, we've identified what our future might look like, we're determining how we're going to remain relevant, and here are the key investments and strategies we're going to follow.